Hello, everybody. Shalom, shalom, everyone. I hope that you're doing fine wherever you are today. So, as you know, and it has been a talk for a while, it's been one of the talks that Black people have involved in. The Hurricane Helene, which is currently affecting the North Carolina, a state with a history to racial exclusion in certain areas. And this is something which has been happening. That's why it is referred to as sundown towns, right? So these towns, it is known that they were enforcing they were notorious in enforcing racial segregation, by prohibiting black people from being present after sunset, typically through intimidation or violence. This practice was part of the broader Jim Crow system that enforced segregation, particularly in the South. Now, a brief history before jumping right into the video. In North Carolina, sundown towns existed in many counties and municipalities well into the 20th century. These towns were not only marked by the discriminatory laws, but also by the violent action, such as lynching and mob attacks on black residents. For instance, the Swanborough, North Carolina, was known for racial violence, including the event where a black man was lynched in 1922 under the suspicion of inciting rebellion against local white authorities. Such events were part of larger pattern in which local black populations were subjected to harsh discriminatory measures aimed at maintaining white dominance. Now, some people can say that, the racial violence in North Carolina as a sundown town is still continuing, while these things are still happening because black folks have a story to give. I want us to listen to the stories of these black folks and why they are sitting reluctantly watching this happening to people in North Carolina and other sundown towns. Buckle up as you watch this video. These are presented Index Stories, and if you're watching this video for the first time, I'll most definitely ask you to subscribe to the channel, join our membership, really get to see what we can offer you. Let's dive right.
So North Carolina, did y'all really think y'all were gonna hang a black man and get away with it? Really? Did you really think, North Carolina, that you were going to hang a black man, say that he committed suicide and get away with that shit? Fuck no. That's why God sent Helene, flooded out all that shit. Yeah, look, man, all these sundown towns, I want God to destroy them. All of them. I want him to drown them people out. I don't care, man. I don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck. All sundown towns. Look. I'm asking for it. I'm asking for the destruction of sundown towns. But y'all thought y'all was going to hang people and that it was just going, no, not my God. Not my God. Yeah, I want my God to come up in there and destroy all that shit.
Something else that I noticed. When palm color people are triggered, they attack the person that's telling the truth. I've never been called racist so many times in my life. I've never been cursed out so many times in my life for telling the truth. I must be doing something right. I must be doing something right. I must be doing something right, because I have no problem with y'all taking y'all anger out on me. Again, there are melanated people that got devastated by Hurricane Helene. My heart goes out to everybody that was devastated by Hurricane Helene. That does not stop the fact that sundown towns were devastated. Asheville was actually stolen from black people. I'ma leave that there.
I don't know about y'all, but I feel like Hurricane Helene was doing God work. Because all those towns that got destroyed in North Carolina, guess who lived in them towns? What knows?
All right. So before we continue, let me just say, I am a brown-skinned, melanated girl that survived Katrina and lost everything in floodwater. Okay, so let's get that straight. But now we're gonna get into this. It's come to my attention that a lot of people on this app don't realize that sundown town still exists, or even know what a sundown town is. So let me catch you up to speed, okay? So sundown towns are basically towns where melanated people either need to be inside at a certain time, or they need to be outside of the city limits at a certain time. And like I said, those still exist in 2024. If you don't believe me, all the people that drive from New Orleans to Houston to New Orleans, y'all know there are certain cities on I-10 that you not gonna stop at. You don't care if your tires falling off. You don't care if your whole front end falling off. Your car could be smoking. There is no way in hell you gonna stop in those certain cities along I-10 on your way either to Houston from New Orleans, or from Houston to New Orleans. Like, you're not gonna stop. Sundown towns are the reason why we pack food for the road. If y'all don't believe me, y'all could go online and Google a map of all the sundown towns that still exist. And it's just mighty coincidental that Hurricane Helene flooded out a lot of those sundown towns. No, I'm not saying that they deserved it. I don't want y'all to think that I'm saying. I don't think anybody deserves to lose their entire lives, at the blink of an eye because of a storm. But it's mighty fucking coincidental. Okay? They exist. Don't be delusional. They're still out there. There's still racism out there. I feel like people brushing it under a rug because it's a tragedy. I get that. But the facts of the situation is that a lot of these places were sundown towns. Do I think people or anybody deserve? No. But again, the facts are that a lot of these places that flooded out unexpectedly were sundown towns. Feel free to go ahead and Google it. Not all, but some of them. Most of them. A lot of them.
Grand Rising TikTok. Man, I just found out that the hurricane only hit all sundown towns all across the South. Tennessee, North Carolina, Florida, all them sundown towns. God came through and wiped out the whole city. And remember now, we got 3 more hurricanes coming next week. I hope Yahushua will make it 15 hurricanes. I mean, this is good news. This is good news. I love hurricanes. I tell you, I love hurricanes. I love tornadoes. I love that. I love it because that's the work of God. Anytime God do some work like that, that's his work. We can't do nothing about it. Just stay out of it. Just leave. And when you come back, you ain't gonna come back to no.
It seemed like that storm hit a bunch of sundown towns. I don't know. You tell me. Y'all tell me. But it seemed like a lot of the places where it hit, and it didn't even hit none of the places it was really supposed to hit the hardest. It hit a bunch of the sundown towns up there in North Carolina and Tennessee. Now, I'm not wishing bad on them, but I'm just saying, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know what's going on.
I'm telling you, man, my intuition be working crazy sometimes because that's exactly what I was thinking, and it seems like I was right. It is a lot of sundown towns. Let's check it out together.
I think y'all understand how bad it is in the southeast right now. We have towns that don't exist anymore. Chimney Rock is gone.
He just mentioned Chimney Rock. Now we're gonna look up the demographic in Chimney Rock. Let's check it out. Chimney Rock demographics. The racial makeup of the village was 94% white. You know what I'm saying? Native American. Then you got other races. Black is not even in there. Alright, so there's goes fact number 1 for y'all. It's crazy. Let's check out another one.
The city of Asheville is cut off from the world. This is not an
Now let's check out Asheville. Let's see what the demographic of Asheville is like. Asheville, we got 80% white, black or African American 10%, and then the other races 4%, and then 1%. So as you can see, the majority is like white, and you know, that's somewhat of a sundown town, or obviously majority of a white town. So yeah, you know, he's right, and my intuition was right too. Let's see what else you say real quick.
This is on Highway 123 heading from Aisley to Greenville. And this was a 1 mile long line to get gas because they were the only people we knew around that had gas left. I got all the way to the end and they were out. They had no gas. We checked every gas station in Pickens and Aisley and Liberty.
So I guess you said, you know, Aisley, Pickens, and Liberty. I'm not sure what state these towns are in, but I'm going to try to look them up real quick since it's sort of relevant, obviously. Let's see what we got. So we got Pickens, North Carolina. We got 72% white, 13% black African American, and then, you know, 11% other races and Asian, 1%. Alright, so it's looking like a majority Caucasian so far. Let's see what else we got. Then finally we got Liberty, Tennessee, 91% white, 7% black African American, and then, you know, less than 1% Asian. And oh, as a matter of fact, black African American is less than 1%. Other races is 7%. So yeah, looking like a majority you know, Caucasian and heathen sundown town. So yeah, there you go. Interesting, isn't it? Just as I was thinking.
So I'm a black American. I've never believed that this country cares about me whatsoever. I've known that since I was a child. But I didn't think that this country would play in everyone's faces as they have over the last year. So I'm sitting here watching videos of the damage done by Hurricane Helene in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and all these different places that have been decimated. And as I'm doing that, I get a notification, a news notification that another aid package has been approved to Israel from the United States, right? Something like over $8 billion, which, if I'm correct, will bring the total of aid packages just over the last year to Israel to over $15 billion. And I'm just like, how is anybody at this point, not just black Americans, not just the most marginalized, but legitimately anybody who's not extremely wealthy, supposed to think that this country gives a singular shit about you? Right? Like, if you are in Georgia right now, right? If you're in Augusta, or you're in Asheville, North Carolina, and you get that same notification that I just got, like, is that your villain origin story at that moment, right? Like how do you watch your house like float away, or how do you watch, you know, the road that you drove on yesterday completely collapse? Your kids screaming and crying for food and because they're scared. And you get a notification that your country is going to provide more aid to Israel to continue to bombard not just Gaza now, but Lebanon. Like, how do you... Again, I knew this country didn't give a shit about me, but the country apparently doesn't care about anybody.
Oh, I'm so happy that all of these southern states and towns are getting their homes washed away. Their children, their parents, their animals, their whole entire lives washed away. All praise to the Most High. Do you hear how sick, crazy, disgusting, and twisted that sounds? I have been seeing so many of my people talk about how they are happy and overjoyed and elated that Hurricane Helene has come and done its damage, and specifically in reference to sundown towns. I don't know what kind of earth y'all are living on. But one, do y'all understand that it's not only just white people in a lot of these towns? Secondly, first and foremost, actually, God created us all in his image. And it is so sick and disgusting to me that I'm seeing people praising God. Like, the audacity and the gall that y'all have to throw my God into y'all's monstrous and preposterous statements, and to thank the Lord that people's lives will never be the same, is sick. It is sick. It's not funny. It's not a game. It's not a joke. Just where I am in Savannah, we got hit relatively bad. There's still a tree on my aunt's house. I just got power back 2 days ago. I still have family members that still do not have power. In other towns, imagine your home floating away. Who gives a sugar honey iced tea what the person's skin color is? Where is the compassion? Where is the empathy? And you do unto others what you want done unto you. So, yes, we have had horrible, monstrous things happen to us as a people. But that doesn't mean we want monstrous and horrible things happening to others. God says that we're supposed to walk in his image. We're supposed to treat others how we want to be treated, no matter what people do to us. And then the fact that y'all are throwing the Lord into y'all's statements is so sick, because the wages of sin is death. And to be so filled with hate is sinful. I cannot believe, and it's like the comments that I'm seeing of people saying all praise to Yah and thank God and all of these. I feel like, you know, our Caucasian counterparts, they don't want to say it, but I'm gonna be the one to say it. Y'all dead wrong. Y'all are sick. Y'all are sick. To just be so elated in joy. I'm so disappointed. I am so disappointed. And then the fact that y'all are throwing the Lord into it is just what's making it so much worse. It's just making it 10 times worse. There is power in the tongue. You speak life and death, and what you put out into the universe, you will get back. Energy is not created nor destroyed, only transferred. Watch y'all mouths. Watch the evil spirits that y'all are possessing with inside of y'all selves. Because it's all fun and games until the rabbit got the gun. And these hurricanes could go any which way. Not just these hurricanes, these national disasters. Anything can happen. And you better praise God and thank the Lord that you're not in the situation that a lot of Americans are in right now. And Lord, have mercy on y'all souls, that he don't do the same or worse to y'all. Let's stop. Like, we have to stop. Like, this is not a game. Y'all really think it's a game. People are losing their children, losing their homes, everything they've ever known, everything they've worked hard to build. Who gives a dang on what the color of somebody's skin is right now? Are y'all serious? I don't know. I really don't even have too much to say, because I'm really trying to be as nice as I possibly can and show that there are good people in this world, and that People who truly walk with Christ try to walk righteously. And I hope every day that by y'all seeing how the Lord has worked and changed my life and how he's working on me and through me, that it pulls people to Christ. Not getting up here and being happy about what other people are going through, especially when it's a detriment to their whole entire lives. Y'all be blessed.
Honestly, from hearing people's opinion in regards to this, as an African, one thing that I came to understand is that, you know, the struggles that you people went through, it's reflective because it's something that happened to you and you own the experience, and that's your story, right? And some of us might not understand this as something which really happened, but it takes a time for us to understand this. And it's not like black folks are celebrating that this is happening or something. It is that it acts as a payment to the sins that the ancestors did to black people, and also looking at the Jim Crow times, where when the sunset got you out, how you are taken, or how your safety was being compromised, right? And if you didn't have any white friend that could stand for you, if you didn't have anybody that could help you, and then that was a big problem. So I understand where you really came from, and as much as we are still not happy, because even the people that are being affected, they are human beings and they are family. And I know that not all white folks are bad people, right? And in as much as these things are happening in the sundown towns, we are still sorry, right? Like as a human being, I'm still sorry for that. But that doesn't deline me from understanding why black people are now reacting the way they are reacting. Because also the part of the story that they are sharing is part of their lived experience. And if not some of them, all of them have lived this. Some of them heard that their ancestors were being killed from going to these places, right? And the violent, the racial, white people who are in these places, like, for example, the North Carolina, it is so historical. And this is part of history that most of black people know. And I think that it is just acceptable the way they reacted. It is acceptable. But, okay, like, this is a difficult one, right? Because in as much as you're saying that black people are reacting in this way, and for me, I can't judge them for doing that, understanding the history. Because also black people, they went through Hurricane Katrina, right? And they asking, what did these people do? What support did they get? Did they receive the support from the FEMA? Because some white folks are also complaining that the FEMA is not serving them well. And this Hurricane Katrina happened to black people. What did they do? Or what infrastructure did they put, or what form of support did they show, or like generally, what did they do to help this, So black people on the sideways just watching this happening, and I understand, because when Katrina was happening to them, nobody was trying to help them. So it is a difficult one as a human being. And I'm trying to be not as much biased as I can, but I understand as a black person, as an African, seeing my brothers and sisters trying to say how they feel about this. And I understand, because the same problem they were grappling with in the United States, we still have the same people who look like the people who put them through oppression still in Africa, right? And they're still pushing these agendas in Africa, right? So I can only resonate with a person who looks like me, and I'm not a racist for doing that. It is because it is not because I'm a racist for doing that. It is because I think at some point our shared history have an intersection. There is an intersection, because the same people that put you through the suffering, the Jim Crow system, are the same people that came back to Africa and started doing colonizing us, whitewashing us. And we have some of us who still don't understand the history of black people, and some of us who will do what they will do, you know. So it all comes down to just understanding. And I know this is a difficult one because the people who are dying are human beings, people who have kids, people who have children. And I know, as a matter of fact, not all white folks are bad people. Get me right on that. But at the same time, bearing with the history of people who looks like me in the United States, I can say that if God really knows what's happening, because I know they are sharing their lived history, they are sharing their sentiments. And I know it's a difficult one because I'm not that so much inhuman. Listen, black folks will say, yes, you're not so much inhuman, but they are inhuman because they watched you suffering. Their forefathers lynched your forefathers. Hurricane Katrina happened, they did nothing. They sat on the sideways and they were like, we not belong to that community, right? So also looking back to this, I'm trying to see that in as much as it looks like payback time, it's something that the US government, I think, needs to address it in a way that they can contain this issue. Because look, it's so hypocritical that the funds are being taken outside the United States, going to serve other things, going to fund other things that are destroying the peace of the world. Come think of it. It might be karma again, because how come you're taking funds out of your country, going to give these funds out outside somewhere there, and then your country something being struck, and then you can't really contain this problem. People are complaining that they're not receiving these funds, right? So you understand where these people are coming from. So it's a problem that black people are dealing with at the same point. So I just want you to let me know what you think about this video. I most definitely want to know what you think about it, because what black people are sharing, it's the experience, and I can't take that away from them. And as much as I'm an African, I might not have lived what they lived, I might not have seen what they've seen, but guess what? History is out there, and history has indicated it, the history of sundown towns. So most definitely, I really want to know what you think about this. Just let me know what you think about it, share your opinion. Yep. Let's meet on my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salut.